All right. I said, all right. Yes, sir. This is Economic Watch, episode 5. And today we have a interesting episode. It's a lot of stuff been going on these past few weeks. This past week, really. And we got a lot to get through today. So let's go ahead and start off with that 15-minute timer. Let's not waste no times today. Yes, sir. Let's get it. So you see the gold price, baby. The gold price. Still in the 1,500 range. Still in the 1,500 range. You see right now it's at the 1 year. The 1 year mark. And it's still on the uptrend. So can't go wrong with gold, baby. Protect your purchasing power. Yeah, buy gold. Still looking beautiful, baby. But let's get into this first news article right here. Get out the way, man. Thomas Cook collapses, leaving thousands of travelers stranded. Thousands of travelers stranded. So just imagine, right? Just imagine you buy a ticket for Delta. You go to Europe or somewhere. You go to Europe, Germany, China, and you enjoying yourself. You got a little vacation. You with the family. You enjoying yourself. And all of a sudden, the company just collapsed. I'm talking about you got your ticket back. You already bought your ticket back. You bought two-way tickets for you and the family. Y'all out of town. Y'all overseas. And the company just collapsed. You're stranded. You're stranded. An airline company just collapsed out of nowhere. Collapse. Out of nowhere. Thousands of people were stranded. Employees was just out of a job out of nowhere. They didn't get compensated. They didn't get a refund. The customers didn't get a refund. And the employees did not get compensated. The only people that got compensated was the board members. No severance packages, no nothing. So just put this in your perspective. What if you working, I don't know what job you have, but just put in your perspective, put in your job. What if your job was to collapse tomorrow, right? Would you be okay with that? Would you be good? Or would you be struggling? That's the question we have to ask ourselves, and we have to become prepared, because this can happen to any one of us. Employees literally crying, sobbing, because their job just collapsed out of nowhere. Man, as time keep progressing, man, there's a lot of more stories we're gonna hear about this one. It's getting crazier and crazier. Next one. FedEx fails to deliver on earnings, and that's a bad sign for the global economy. So let me explain to y'all what FedEx. FedEx differs from UPS, right? UPS do a lot of domestic work. They do overseas work too, but UPS does a lot of domestic work, a lot of door-to-door, right? FedEx, you will see deliver your package from sometimes, but FedEx really deals with international purchases, right? International. They're global on a more global scale than UPS. They really deal with international stuff, right? So for FedEx to come out with their earnings report, and for their earnings report to be the way it is, which is very low, that is a bad sign for the global economy, because that means that the global economy is not really doing good as they should. I mean, goods are not, nobody is really buying goods like that right now. Right? And because the earnings report came out, it caused for their stock to tumble. See, look, we can see right here. Unlike UPS or the U.S. Postal Service, FedEx isn't highly dependent on shipments to consumers, which makes up 20% of the FedEx business. The rest relies further up on the business food chain, shipments from suppliers to manufacturers. For example, in other words, long before consumers even have a chance to buy those manufacturing goods, what happens to FedEx argues that could happen to the economy about 9 to 12 months down the road, Rogers says. FedEx was also hurt by its move last month to end delivery contract with Amazon. Although the damage from the move was relatively modest, FedEx shared with the investors a chart from Rector Intelligence that showed its share of the last mile shipments, that is, delivery to consumers, has steadily held below 5%. For the past few years, below the shares of UPS and the USPS, indicating that it's insulted for Amazon's ambitious plans to deliver its own package. Right. So basically, FedEx, like I said, FedEx deal with a more global delivery system, not as the UPS and USPS, which they deliver straight to the customers. They deliver with a more global, deliver products around the world. And with everything slowing down right now, FedEx is taking a huge hit. It's getting crazy. It's getting ridiculous. FedEx is taking a huge hit, and it's showing through their earnings report. All right. So in the last episode, right, we talked about how the Federal Reserve is basically printing money again, and we're going back to quantitative easing, but it's not quantitative easing because they don't want to scare the public. So they're changing the name to repo operations. Yes, repo operations. The feds are taking it upon themselves to put in a whole bunch of money into the system to go ahead and bail out these banks, right? They're not even bailing out the banks. They're just giving a whole bunch of money to the banks before a problem can occur. And if you go on the Federal Reserve in New York Federal Reserve, it's on the website. They give you a schedule of when they're going to give this money up, right? Monday the 23rd, 75 billion. Tuesday, today, 24th, at least 75 billion. Wednesday, another 75 billion. Thursday, another 75 billion. Friday, another 75 billion. The 30th and the 10/10, right? Till October 10, September 30th to October 10, they're doing 75 billion a day. 75 billion a day. All this should tell you is that this is devaluing the currency at an alarming rate. These guys are printing excess money to try to keep the economy afloat. Everything is getting rocky right now. They're having to come up with 70 billion every day and try to feed it to these banking systems. Man, it's getting crazy for people. It's getting very crazy. So, the St. Louis federal member, all right, James Bulliard, he says that manufacturing already appears to be in a recession. Manufacturing, that is the heart of the economy. Manufacturing, us making products. With the numbers that's coming out on manufacturing, we already seem to be in a recession with the manufacturing data, right? This is terrible. I know y'all probably watch this is like, dang, this man hitting us with more terrible news and more news, and this is all just terrible news. Look, I'm just giving y'all the truth. I'm giving y'all what y'all need to hear. Because the mainstream media is not going to tell you this type of stuff. They're not going to show you this type of stuff. They're not going to explain to you how to support it, right? This stuff is mad important. Numbers are slowing down. Businesses are going out of businesses. People are losing jobs. It's not affecting you yet, but it's going to. It's only a matter of time before it affects you next. Consumer confidence falls sharply in September. Well, duh. All this stuff that's happening right now, of course, consumer confidence is falling shortly. Like, if you heard all this news, would you want to go out and spend money? No, you want to save, prepare. So, of course, consumer confidence is falling sharply at an alarming rate, especially with the trade tensions. Especially with you dumping $75 billion out of nowhere every day. Saying the economy fine. How is the economy fine and you dumping $75 billion every single day? This hasn't happened since the Great Depression. But people fail to realize that. Goldman Sachs says the market is about to get wild in October. Stock volatility has been 25% higher in October on average since 1928. This means the markets are going to go bananas. And that's not in a good way, people. In a bad way. We're about to get wild. Buck wild. Stock markets are about to get wild. Right? If you have a 401k, this will hurt you. Just having a 401k and looking at an article like this about to get wild, like what? Yeah, if you have a 401k, I'm not a financial advisor, but just advice. You might want to pull it out because October being wild for the markets, that's not a good picture. Not a good picture at all. So, just like I said, consumer confidence was down because of the trade war. And just look at this article right here. Chinese trade officials cancel planned trip to 2 U.S. farming states, right? So, it came out that the Chinese was ready to talk about the trade war again, right? Subtle terms and everything. But these people didn't even come to talk about the trade war, right? This is on a totally different business and they canceled it. So the markets went ballistic because they realizing that this trade war, all this trade war business, is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, trade officials, the Chinese trade officials, they canceled, and yeah, the markets went wild. They went berserk. But last thing I wanted to show y'all guys, right? Last thing I wanted to show y'all. A lot of people are not familiar with digital currency. A lot of people are not familiar with cryptocurrency. But if you can, please get educated. Please get educated on the difference between cryptocurrency. Please get educated on the difference between digital currency. Get educated on the blockchain. Get educated on stablecoin. Because I am telling you that these things are going to be a part of your life sooner or later. So it's good to be ahead of the game rather than somebody that's not ahead of the game and it comes on to you and you looking like what the heck, and you looking like you don't have a clue what's going on. But the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, right? You know, the Federal Reserve is the banks. That's Wells Fargo banks, JP Morgan banks. That's the feds. Now the IMF is the bank to the Federal Reserve and all the central banking. We're doing excellent. So the IMF is the bank, the bank. They're the ones that lend money to countries, right? So the IMF posted a tweet that says, "What's a stable coin? And how might it affect you and how you spend your paychecks?" These guys are openly promoting digital currency, right? Stable coin, a digital currency. Last episode I told y'all Wells Fargo already dropped the stable coin. Already dropped the digital currency, right? Notice I'm not saying cryptocurrency, because it's a difference between cryptocurrency and digital currency. So JP Morgan already dropped the digital currency. Wells Fargo already dropped the digital currency. And now the IMF is talking about what's a stable coin. They're trying to get you familiar on what is a stable coin, right? And look at this comment right here. I kind of find it funny. Gee, stable coin and social credit keeps them at top and puts the ultimate boot on our necks. And no one seems to notice, and no one seems to care. No one seems to care. Y'all don't seem to care. The IMF controlling digital currency, our currency. Do you know what would happen if they was to control digital currency that you are using? They can control what you purchase, what you buy, what you can't buy. They can put a hold on your account for no reason. That's why I say you got to know the difference between digital and cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is decentralized and can't be controlled by anybody. Digital currency can be controlled. Centralized cryptocurrency is evil. It gives governments way too much control. This should be centralized digital currency. So like I said, cryptocurrency is decentralized. So would you rather be educated on cryptocurrency and have your freedom be your own bank now? Or would you wait till the dollars are worthless and we all go into a digital payment system? Because that's what's about to happen. That's what's about to happen, and that's what's happening slowly. Now, I'm not saying the Federal Reserve is devaluing the dollar on purpose so we can go on a digital payment system and so they control our money and control what we're doing. But I'm not saying it's not true either. But that was episode 5 of Economic Watch. Hey man, y'all read the signs. This is a good episode. Y'all do your own thought, do your own thinking, become educated. Peace, blessings. I love y'all, and I will see y'all on episode 6. Baron Jermaine on the white crack this baby open. What? You said I can't open this until they click the subscribe button. Hey, y'all need to click that subscribe button right now.